I'm Papa K. These are the same bedtime stories that I tell my daughters. So find a comfy place and let's begin tonight's story. The Tooth Fairy's Tale. The air in Noor and Naz's room felt extra sparkly that night. Noor, all of 6 years old with her slightly wavy black hair, was practically bouncing with excitement. She had just lost one of her teeth. Her little sister, Naz, who was 2 and still sporting her adorable missing front tooth, was equally thrilled. Tonight was the night. Maybe, just maybe, the tooth fairy would visit. Do you think she'll like my tooth, Nazu? Noor asked, carefully placing her pearly white in a tiny heart shaped box on her bedside table. Naz nodded seriously. Nazu's tooth is special too, she declared, pointing to her own little gap. They had both heard stories of the magical being who exchanged lost teeth for treasures, and they couldn't wait to experience it themselves. As the sisters drifted to sleep, the moonlight painted silver patterns on their bedroom floor. Suddenly, a faint shimmer filled the room, and a tiny figure with delicate wings fluttered in through the window. It was Twinkle, the tooth fairy, her dress sparkling like captured starlight. Twinkle tiptoed to Noor's bedside. She gently lifted the heart shaped box and peeped inside. Oh, what a lovely tooth, she whispered to herself. Then her gaze fell upon Naz, sleeping soundly with her little gap on full display. A thought twinkled in Twinkle's eyes. Normally, she only collected fully lost teeth, but Naz's missing tooth seemed to have its own story. Twinkle decided to leave a tiny, extra special, shimmering dust beside Naz's pillow, a promise of her own visit soon. In the morning, Noor gasped as she found 2 shiny coins where her tooth box had been. She came, Nazu! She really came! She exclaimed, shaking her little sister gently. Naz rubbed her eyes and then noticed the faint sparkle beside her pillow. It wasn't a coin, but it shimmered with all the colors of a rainbow. Look, Noor Didi, Naz whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. And then a tiny, almost invisible voice giggled. Thank you for taking such good care of your teeth, it whispered. Noor and Naz looked at each other, their faces beaming. They might not have seen the tooth fairy, but they knew, deep in their hearts, that the magic was real, and their tryst with her had just begun. They hugged each other, their gap-toothed smiles shining brightly in the morning light, already excited for the next lost tooth adventure. Good night. The end.